Ooh, hello, welcome back. Wow, that scene is from the prison. Let's keep going. Oh, now we're on to the trial. Ooh, here we go. Are you excited? I'm a little nervous. Okay, the next day at 2 in the morning. Old Bailey, defendant's antechamber. But which one? Which antechamber? Well, I never expected this. Who'd have thought we'd be back here again so soon? I mean, you are trying to be a lawyer, so... We're on a study tour of Great Britain with the intention of learning the country's legal practices. In order to research the latest court procedures here, we need as much court experience as possible. Well, yeah, I suppose that's true, but for the person in the dock, it may well be his or her one and only time in court, and it could be life-changing. In which case, treating it as research may seem a little crass. Oh, well, when you put it like that, you're quite right. Good morning? Oh, he looks like he didn't get to sleep at all. Ah, Mr. Natsume, good morning. Oh dear. Are you alright? Your eyes are terribly bloodshot. The early bird catches the worm, as they say here in Britain. Yes, I've heard that expression, but I really don't want to catch a worm. So I tried desperately not to wake up early, but I was so worried I couldn't catch a wink. And now I'm absolutely exhausted as a result. Do all literary people take things so literally? Good one. Thank you for putting your faith in us today, Mr. Natsume. I wish I had 9 lives. My whole future hangs in the balance. I'm too terrified to tremble. Really? Because I can feel tremors on the floor. I can't do this. I can't take it. Although, locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Yes? I caught a glimpse of the public gallery as I walked by the courtroom. It looked like the opening night of the opera. There were so many people. I had no idea my case was such a notorious affair here in London. Oh, neither did I. They're all here to see Van Zeeks. I know I would be. Do you know why that might be, Mrs. Sato? I'm sorry, but I have no idea. So that all-knowing look on your face is just coincidence, is it? Don't hide the truth from me. It's because of the Reaper, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, I would be here to see him. Lord Van Zeeks? Is that right, Mrs. Sato? Oh, I love this music. I purchased as many different newspapers as I could find this morning, and yes, Lord Van Zeeks is on the front page of every one. I knew it. Did he? Sometime after the prosecutor was dubbed the Reaper of the Bailey, he stopped appearing in court, it seems. It's been several years now, in fact. Until the day before yesterday. Yeah, Inspector Gregson told us something similar, didn't he? Flashback. Ah, so bright. This flashback. The trial 2 days ago marked Lord Van Zeek's return to the courtroom after a very long hiatus. The trial of Magnus McGilded. Ugh, what a harrowing experience that was. True. Oh, she's so cute. I believe that appearance made even greater waves here in the capital than today's. But we wouldn't have realized, of course, having only just arrived in the country. Why is the Reaper back in the Bailey so soon for what appears to be a mundane murder? That's the question the papers are asking, and they're all speculating various answers. Mundane? Mundane? It's the most significant saga of the century to some of us. Oh dear, I meant no offense, Mr. Natsume, but that is how the papers are describing it. Well, lest we all forget the fact that it could spark an international incident. Obviously, the reappearance of this infamous prosecutor has caught people's attention, but there's another blatant similarity with the trial of 2 days ago. Is there? Locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. It's you! Oh, duh. Well, I suppose that's true. Both times, it is you who stands against this legendary prosecutor. It can only mean that you're friends with the Reaper. Please, I don't rub shoulders with Deathbringers. I'm afraid there's really only one other explanation. It can only mean another example, Mr. Naruhodo, of your uncommon bad luck. Thanks for that. Oh, this is just my luck. Why must I be represented by a man with such frail fortune? By the least lucky lawyer alive. Well, let's not forget that it was you, Mr. Natsume, who asked me to represent you. He's like, oh, well, I guess you're right. Yes, it's true that I'm just a student new to London with little in the way of experience or skills or luck, but I promise you this. I will fight your corner until the bitter end, and I will believe in you, Mr. Natsume. Oh, but benevolent locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. You're not alone here with us, Mr. Natsume. Whatever happens, we will always be on your side. Nice. Oh, benevolent non-locum assistant Miss Mikotoba Esquiress. I am in your debt forever. I shall never forget this great kindness. Oh. Mr. Natsume, counsel for the defense. The court session is about to begin. Kindly make your way into the courtroom at once. Oh, shit. Alright then, Mr. Natsume, it's time. Let's go. Okay, so we didn't even gather any evidence from yesterday, did we? Yes. So we're just gonna wing it. I guess, like the last case. This is it. My second appearance in a British courtroom. And my second trial against the Reaper. Oh, I hope you're watching over me, Kazuma. Because this time, I won't let my faith waver. I'll believe in my client to the last. Just like you believed in me. I believe I can do this now. I'm ready for this fight. Oh. Okay, here we go. 10 a.m. on the dot. Okay. Oh wait, it looks like one person in the jury was one of the witnesses from the last case. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. The prosecution is fully prepared, my lord. The defense is ready, my lord. The Nipponese are a truly fascinating breed. Sorry, what? Lord Strongheart has told me all about you. That you are a student who arrived in London but 2 days ago, a mere amateur. Do you have a point? Tell him. Being a compatriot, you feel compelled to try to help the accused, I suppose. Typical Nipponese arrogance. Forgive me, but I do not believe arrogance is an appropriate description. Whoa. Defending Ryunosuke. After all, at our previous encounter, the defendant was found to be innocent. Sort of. Oh shit. Already pouring himself a glass. A very true, and a most fascinating, if dark, trial it was too. The tragic conclusion came later, of course. Here's to the acquitted, and his unfortunate violent end. Dang! The fuck? Okay. Rude. Thank you, counsels. I see both sides are in fine fettle. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, are you ready to carry out your duties here in court as impartial members of the public? You never know when you might be down on your luck, but I believe in fair play for everyone. Oh my god, she's kind of cute, but she's kind of freaking me out a little bit.
Well, I must warn you, I'm rather more ruthless than I appear.
Oh, look at this, like, point brow.
Oh, well, not me. What you see is what you get. I'm a peace-loving fella.
Oh my god, it's Jane. I'm afraid to say I think it's quite possible that mustached foreigner did the deed. Whoa!
Come on, what are you waiting for? No doubt he did it anyway.
Sorry. Didn't quite catch that. There's a lot of voices. I'm already getting lost in all of them. Very well, let us proceed. Your opening statement, if you please, Lord Van Zieks. He did it. Very recently, Great Britain signed an alliance with a rising power in the Far East. The accused in the dock today is a student from that same land, a certain Mr. Soseki Natsume. And while our country has extended this foreign student the warmest of welcomes, regrettably, the kindness has not been returned. In fact, this student is accused of a most sinister act. Okay. Of plunging a knife in the back of an innocent woman who was doing nothing but walking down the street. A knife crime? I tell you, from bitter experience, those are the worst. Yeah, I think they are the worst. Bloody oath they are.
Just look at that sallow complexion and short stature. He's one of those dreadful Japanese.
Okay, racist. Come on, let's get this over with. With me now, everyone. 1, 2, 3.
Sorry, didn't quite catch that.
There you have it. That's his opening statement. Pray forgive the discourtesy of smashing my hallowed chalice here in this great chamber. Okay. Allow me to call the first witness to the stand. Wait. Okay. What about Ryunosuke's opening statement? Bailiff, lead the inspector in, please. Oh no. Inspector Gregson. He still got his fish and chips. Your name and occupation, please. Yes, sir. Tobias Gregson, Detective Inspector at Scotland Yard. Would you please summarize the events of the case for the court, Inspector? Okay, what? Is that what she looked like? I don't remember her looking like that. The victim is thought to be a young woman in her 20s by the name of Olive Green. I like that color. I beg your pardon, Inspector? Thought to be? Yeah, having been stabbed in the back by her attacker's knife, the victim fell unconscious. That was 3 days ago now, and she's been comatose ever since. What? So they don't even know who she is for sure? Oh shit. Comatose, I see. But her life is not in danger? Fortunately for the Eastern student, the charge will not be murder. Pray, elaborate on the details, Inspector. Sir, if I could ask everyone to look at this street map.
Street map, street rat.
As I mentioned, the incident took place 3 days ago, at around 5 in the afternoon. It happened on the pavement, running alongside Briar Road, a wide thoroughfare for horse-drawn vehicles. Okay. It had not long since stopped snowing as the victim, Miss Green, was walking down the street. Out of the blue, she was approached from behind by the accused and stabbed in the back. Okay. It's as simple as that. And roll credits. Luckily, the young lady's life was spared and she's currently being treated in one of the city's hospitals. But being unconscious as she is, we've been unable to take a statement from her, of course. This is the case file with everything we know about the victim so far. Thank you, Inspector. The court will accept the documents as evidence, if you please. Okay, we're gonna take a look. What of the weapon that was used? Sir, I have that here. It was removed from the victim's back. Ouch, that big thing is starting to make me scared to walk down the street now. With a heavy blade like that, almost anybody would have been able to stab the poor woman. Even the scragged-looking Soseki-san, I suppose. A common or garden jackknife, I would say, rather nondescript. Thank you, Inspector. The court accepts the blade as evidence. Okay. Also a jackknife. Now then, what do we know of the motive? Money or valuables, I presume? There was none. From what we can tell by looking at the woman's possessions, it seems like she's a poor student herself. Hard to imagine she would have had anything much worth pinching, my lord. I see. Well, in that case, are we looking at some deep-seated resentment toward the victim? I'm afraid I couldn't say. Apart from visiting secondhand bookshops, the defendant, Mr. Natsume, doesn't appear to get out much. At this moment in time, we haven't been able to establish any sort of connection between him and the victim. Yes. There you go. The fuck? Why would he stab her then? If theft and grievance had been ruled out as the motive, what reason could Mr. Natsume possibly have had for stabbing the young woman? Yet you arrested the man in spite of that, in a totally unjustified and heavy-handed way. Objection! Oh shit. Oh my god, he threw the bottle! Pray, forgive the discourtesy of flinging a freshly uncorked bottle into the public gallery. Is that how he, like, lets it air out? As he, like, breaks it on the floor? But your words have soured its hallowed bouquet. For it is you, my learned friend, who is being heavy-handed here. What? Scotland Yard does not arrest people without good cause. That should be beyond question. Inspector Gregson, the prosecution calls for your formal testimony. Explain to the court precisely why the constabulary came to arrest the Nipponese student.
Got it.
Okay, first witness testimony. Here we go. As I said, it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon when the incident occurred, and there was an unusually light fog. Visibility was reasonably good, and there was no one else about but the victim and the accused. Okay, first of all, we have two witnesses who claim that it was way too foggy to see anything. So, fuck off. Out of the blue, the victim was stabbed from behind and subsequently collapsed on the pavement. The accused ran off, scattering his belongings all over the floor. Those being a number of old books he just bought. He was on his way home from a bookshop, it seems. Okay. It was just a matter of time. It was just a matter of working out who the books belonged to, and we found the bloke to arrest him. Okay. Weird. Old books, you say? Yes, my lord. I have a photograph here of the scene of the crime, taken immediately after the incident. Oh, okay, let's take a look. Ah, yes, I can clearly see the books to which you are referring. Dang, that knife sticking out too. I will take that photographic print as evidence, please, Inspector. Okay. Where do we even begin? You Nipponese are a spineless breed, too cowardly to admit defeat. Dang, okay. Going way too far with that. Denying everything despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary. Not very overwhelming evidence, so. Forgive me, Lord Van Zeeks, but the defendant is not denying everything, as you put it. What are you doing, Mrs. Sato? Do go on. Mr. Natsume has admitted to playing some part in the incident. Isn't that right, Mr. Naruhodo? Well, now you mention it. When we visited him in the prison yesterday, he did tell us what had all happened. Yeah, he like saw it happen, but it was too foggy to see anything, right? As I was walking along that accursed pavement, I could make out the sole silhouette of another ahead of me. A woman wearing a green overcoat, she was, and just as I went to overtake her... Oh. She suddenly let out a little scream and collapsed onto the cold, hard slabs of stone at my feet. I was terrified. I had to get away from there. So I ran, as fast as my legs would carry me, back to my accursed lodgings. So she was like standing, and she basically got stabbed right next to him. A green overcoat? Well, that's exactly what the woman in that print is wearing. Oh my. A photographic print in full color. What will the world come up with next? It's irrelevant, but okay. The defendant has done nothing more than admit he fled to the scene of a terrifying incident. That does not mean that he's guilty of the heinous crime of stabbing the woman in the back. Oh shit. There was nobody else there at the time, just the two of them, the victim and the accused. In other words, there's nobody else who could possibly have stabbed the woman. Nobody else. A fact that the accused concedes. Oh, yeah, you're right. Whoops. It seems this cross-examination could prove to be pivotal, counsel. Proceed, please. Okay, let's do it. Cross-examination time. I have to use this cross-examination to turn the tables here. It's our only chance. Got it. Okay. Okay, what should we press first? 5 o'clock in the afternoon when the incident occurred. We know that. Visibility was reasonably good and there was no one else about but the victim and the accused. Yeah. Out of the blue, the victim was stabbed from behind and subsequently collapsed on the pavement. Okay. The accused ran off, scattering his belongings all over the floor. Okay. Those being a number of old books he'd just bought. He was on his way home from a bookshop, it seems. Okay, so he didn't say he dropped anything. So we're gonna press that. Hold it! The defendant apparently visits a secondhand bookshop on a daily basis. Yes, so I understand. A shop full of old English literature. I commend the accused on the lofty subject matter of his scholarly attention. The bloke's room was stacked floor to ceiling with those musty old books. Can you tell us more about the bookshop in question, please, Inspector? Well, if I must, I'll have to ask you to look at the street map again, I'm afraid. Okay. Bourbon books. Is that the bookshop that he goes to? I don't think that's the bookshop that he goes to. The closest secondhand bookshop to the accused lodgings is this place here, Bourbon Books. A little place on the corner of Briar Road and Meerschaum Street. Mr. Natsume's lodgings. As it happens, the accused is currently living in lodgings on the other side of Briar Road at the opposite end. Which means it doesn't take a genius to work out the route he would have taken home. Okay. Something like this. The local map's information has been updated. Yes, I concur with your conclusion, Inspector. The defendant would certainly have passed the scene of the crime on his way home from that particular shop. My god. Mr. Naruhodo, I think that what the inspector just told us could turn out to be of vital importance. Yeah, I agree. The most important point that the inspector just made being the bookshop's name? I think it was the name, because I think it was called something else that he would go to. Inspector Gregson, may I ask you a favor? Would you kindly add the name of the bookshop to your formal testimony, please? I believe it may be of vital importance. Maybe. Oh, well, you know, I mean, yes, it could be a very important clue. Very well, not that I can see it being of any great significance, but please revise your testimony accordingly, Inspector. Yes, sir, my lord, whatever you say. Could the man be any more sardonic? He was on his way home from Bourbon Books, a secondhand bookshop he apparently patronizes. Okay, let's look at stuff. Oh yeah, okay, here we go. It was your books. That's where he went. Okay, the sum of 2 shillings tendered in receipt of the picture of Monsieur Lecoq, a meal for Gabriel, Canterbury Yearnings. Canterbury Yearnings. Okay. But yeah, we can totally present that. There we go. There we go. Nice. If I could just stop you there, Inspector Gregson. What is it, sunshine? I'm a busy man, you know. This is a receipt that we found in Mr. Natsume's room. It was issued on the day of the incident and details the purchase of 3 secondhand books. And you found that in the accused room, did you? Yeah, we did. Yeah, but the point is not where the receipt was found, but the name of the shop printed on it. Go on. The receipt was issued from a bookshop called Your Books. Your Books? Y-O-R-E, I presume? Yeah, yes, my lord. So, Mr. Natsume did indeed purchase a number of books at a secondhand bookshop that day. However, the bookshop in question was not Bourbon Books. What? Inspector, do you know of this other bookshop? Yes, sir. Your Books is another secondhand bookshop not far from Bourbon Books. It's just that, well, it's such a small place, I didn't think the accused would have known about it. But in fact, that is the bookshop which the defendant visited on the day in question. And this receipt proves it.
Objection!
Bitch! Yes, for what difference it makes. Wherever the man purchased his musty tomes, it makes no difference in the final analysis.
Objection!
That's right, objection, because there is. It does make a difference. I disagree. I mean, after all, I have the street map here, if that might be of help. Oh, yes, thank you. Have a look at this, please. Okay, where is it? If the defendant had been returning from Bourbon Books, then yes, he would have almost certainly have passed the place where Miss Green was attacked. However, if we take into account the fact that he was actually at another bookshop, Your Books, it may very well turn out that he wouldn't have passed that location at all. Could that be true? My, it rather depends on where this other bookshop is, but I do declare it may be a possibility. Is that right, Mr. Lawyer, sir? What you just said? Absolutely. It absolutely could be right. Oh my god. Inspector Gregson, where is this Your Books establishment? I guess we'll find out in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more content. I will see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye, guys.